sound. Oh,
Hello.
An error has occurred. Donna will talk while I just fix that.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Donna and Cheryl TV Live, keeping it real. She won't be able to do it because she's fixing an error.
Oh, I fixed it. It's fixed.
Live from HQ and from Cheryl's house today. We were thinking about just doing it live from the beach because that's where we were just like 40 minutes ago. And it is so beautiful down there today. It seemed a shame to come home, but yeah, we thought just to be on the safe side in case you couldn't hear us, we'd best come back and talk to you from here. So how are you all doing today? If you're here, drop me a little hello, drop me a comment, tell me how you're doing. It's amazing to see you. And yeah, it's Tuesday already. And Cheryl and I have spent 2 hours walking, having a coffee, sitting looking at the sea, getting excited and plotting and doing some plans. I'd love to know, where do you enjoy going and plotting and making plans? Where do you find you get inspiration from?
Fab.
Error fixed, Cheryl, or is it still?
Hey, Sonia. Amazing.
Sit in the garden, take a break with us. We will cheer you up on your lunch. It's lovely to have you here.
Exactly. So today we're talking about, the theme this week is around self-care. And today we specifically want to focus on mornings, getting high vibes in mornings, because it wasn't something that we were consciously aware of back in the day before we started doing this work. We were still high vibe. So whenever me personally, whenever I got into work, like at 8 o'clock or whatever time it was, I by then had woken up and got into a high vibe, but it's very different to the way that I do it now. Now it's much more intentional, where that just, because I'm a positive person, by the time I got to work, I would have made sure I was in a good mood.
Well, it was more like, come on, we can do it. We can get through it. We can power through. We can bring everyone on board. We can do this.
Yeah.
And I always remember like one day when I was at, actually I won't say the name of the company because the person might know who they are. And I remember like thinking, I'd done this whole waking up thinking, looking at my phone, had another 50,000 complaints, had a lot more shitograms from a director thinking, one of them like, this is going to be a fun day. This was 5:30, 6 in the morning. Taught myself into it, did some weights. I would do a lot of weightlifting then because I think I like the aggression of just getting it out. So I remember doing some weights at the hotel, getting into the office. Like, I'm not a morning person. I remember walking through the door, and that storybook, like chicken lick in the house, the sky's falling, and whatever it's called. And I just remember like this stream of people and this guy at the front going, oh, like we've lost everything, and the telephone lines aren't working, and and I remember looking at him going, I'm like, what have you done about it? He went, well, I was waiting for you to come in to tell you. Obviously, that's not the right thing. And when you think like, I can't cope with like another 12 hours of this.
And the thing for me was, because I get up in the morning, literally roll out of bed, have some breakfast, get in the car. My car was my thinking time, getting myself in the right zone. But then when you got into work, when you hadn't took your coat off.
Well, that's it. I wasn't through the door.
You hadn't took your coat off or your bag down, and people were queuing, waiting to speak to you. And all you want to say is, could you just let me put my fucking bag down and take my coat off and let me sit on the seat? And then we'll talk. Nothing can be that important. Like, can you imagine that energy? Like, I've just come in a really smiley, happy mood, and then that happens.
Yeah.
Just know.
Yeah. And the thing is, so that there are things in the day, there's naturally different kinds of energy. We're actually got one of my friends, Don's, coming on to speak to our coaching group, the Real You program, about the different kinds of energy next in a couple of weeks. It's going to be amazing. But there are different kinds of energy. So just on a very basic level, if you walk into something like that and straight away you got a lot of negative energy, if your energy is only like halfway there, then you go like, bam, problem, challenge, need, want, help, coming at you. Like, it's really difficult to go from there to then raise your energy and feel really good. Chances are you're going to drop down a few percent, and then it's harder to keep bringing it up. So,
or you do it, but it's like where you feel delirious, where you're like, everything's okay, and you're kind of like faking it.
It's fake energy. Yeah, we don't like it either, Sonka. Like, it's not our vibe. It's not our vibe. It's not how we roll.
So what is it for you that you What is it that when you get up, because we're going to talk about our routines in a moment, how we do it now, which is much more effective. But when you do get up and you just go into autopilot and you roll out of bed and you go into the thing that you're doing, like what is it for you that then can just happen? And actually, because you haven't got yourself in a proper high vibe, you haven't put the work in to get your energy up in the morning, that can just flip you right back down the scale where you want to smash their faces in. Let's be real, people. This is how I used to feel. I wanted to smash their faces in.
In a very PC way.
Metaphorically speaking.
HR would have been informed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I've done that one song already. So yeah, what is that thing for you that just like takes you down a few pegs straight away on the morning? Even for you, Cheryl, it's when Graham's off, isn't it? I know we've spoken about this before, but when G's at home.
Well, when he's been on furlough, really, because if he was on holiday and I'd be working from home, it'd be very rare. But obviously, because I have a morning routine now, and when he's off, his routine is he gets up early, but then he sits and watches TV, news, and then he likes to have, I don't know, likes his breakfast. Or he likes to do it in the bedroom. So because I get up in the morning, do my gratitudes, my affirmations, and I like to meditate or do some breathing, that then can cause a bit of a, where am I supposed to do it? Because he's floating around, and I do not fill myself with news on a morning. That is not how I start my day. Don't want to sit and listen to Piers Morgan.
When Neil does this,
get out of bed.
Neil does this though. Like you'll wake up and you'll reach for his phone. You all know how we feel about touching the phones on a morning, and Neil will reach for the phone. But then do you know what he starts doing? Telling me. I'm like, which bit of me in the last 14 years has ever wanted to know the news in the morning? Like, yeah. I don't like reality at the best of times. Do not tell it to me when I'm just woken up.
Yeah. So it can knock my routine off if he's home. But when he was on furlough leave, we got into a phase of agreeing what was happening when. So it worked out for us. But yeah.
And there's a really important, so this isn't just us being grumpy. Like on a morning when you wake up, so on a morning and on a night time, sorry, I feel like I've got something in my eye. You've got your brain waves don't just go from sleep to wide awake and then kind of semi-stress alert mode. They go through different stages. And in that first stage of waking up, that's why we say meditate on a morning, meditate just before bed, because your brainwaves are in a relaxed state. So your mind, your subconscious mind, is much more susceptible to what you're putting in it. So if you just wake up and you've woken up, this new day is fresh, anything is possible for you, and the first thing you put in is a negative charge, straight away you're firing and wiring on a stress hormone. And that's like, we don't want you to have stress hormones as it is. You can have an element of them, but that is literally like opening the floodgates and saying, do what you want to me. You're straight away allowing someone else to set your energy and the tone of how you're going to feel. Like, has anybody done this, woken up and just then read bad news or someone's died or the death toll of COVID or whatever? Like, it doesn't make you think, yes, today is a great day. It's going to be the best day ever. Generally speaking, then you're backpedaling, aren't you? You're going to backpedal.
Yes. So Wendy's just saying when she's in whirling devilish and our daughter is in the slug trail, and also having your own space in
and Donna's just saying Mom! Constantly we have several times threatened to change our names over the course of COVID. Constantly shouted until I stopped doing what I do, and I'm working from home permanently and prefer 10 minutes peace, cuppa, switch off and office purifier, then start. Guaranteed at the moment there's a child, absolutely 100%. And I know it's just little things like so I get up an hour early, so I set my alarm for about 6. Caleb doesn't get up till 7. I love Caleb dearly. I usually go back to bed at 7 and then we have a snuggle in bed, so I get up so I can meditate and go through diary for the day and set intentions and things like that. And sometimes you'll wake up early and you'll hear me up and and he knows that I'm meditating. He kind of leaves me alone, but it's the mum gene, isn't it? Like once I know that he's up, my state of awareness definitely shifts to become more in this reality rather than wherever I am when I'm meditating. And I'm like, just stay in bed just till 7 o'clock. You just like, I need the hour. Wendy's just saying, devilish is more like it. Yeah, we know you, Wendy.
When somebody else is on a different frequency to you, which is what you're saying, it's about how do you protect your own energy without judgment. That someone else is on a different frequency, that's the frequency they're on, you're on a different one. So it's about protecting your own energy and staying within in your own lane without judgment of what they are or aren't doing. Easy said to do, but it's your daughter.
yeah. So I was just saying, it's hard. No news on the morning, 100% agree. I mean, news doesn't thrive from telling you all the good stuff that's happening in the world, does it? Like, it's just set to tell you all the horrific stuff that's going to make you want to puke in your cornflakes. It's hard for me to kick me out of my routine. I'd love to know what that is, but if that happens, it really just pisses me off. Yeah, 100%. I love my morning routine, so there's no messing with it. And it's one of those things that you don't like to give up, do you? Like, even on the weekend, I'll try and sneak in a little meditation or something if I can now. And Donna's just saying, can't wait for school to start. Yeah. So this is around you getting really conscious about however it is you want to feel on the morning. And sometimes people say to me, well, that's all right for you, I've got kids and stuff. Like, I've got a kid too, he's 7 and he's challenging, and we have full diaries. We tend to set the diary to start from 10 in the morning, but it can go till quite late at night because of the nature of our work. So for me, that just makes it more important to set that tone. And we were saying the other day, like, about how last week was not one of our finest weeks in terms of how we'd scheduled the week to pan out. So the boundaries. So it made the morning routine more important rather than going, well, I need that hour to do X, Y, Z. Like, actually, I would have got up even earlier. I would have got up at 5 if I'd had to. And I always remember Lorna buying me the Hal Elrod book years ago, which talked about, the miracle morning. And I think that's when people started getting this morning routine ticking off. And actually, whether I've done weights or whether I've gone for a walk or whether I've listened to something or read something, I've always had something that I've tried to do. I think just what Cheryl and I have worked out through working with our coach is a really simple system that actually you can have a very basic 5-10 minutes of something that's all within your head to get you off to a good start, which is like a basic routine. Yeah. Because we can't all have an hour to ourselves every day. Like, champion for you if you can. We would struggle to do that consistently. So it's about you finding something that works for you, where if you've got 5 minutes, you've got something that gets you feel good, pumped, and you're setting your tone and your energy and your boundaries for the morning internally. And then if you've got an hour, you've got something that you can go and do and to make you feel the same way. But it's about doing it consciously and not just hoping for the best and reaching for your phone and seeing how the day pans out.
Absolutely.
Up early is the only way, and great advice in last coaching, do my work first for a protected hour. Yeah. So what we'd said to Wendy was, like, whatever your priority is, what people tend to do is, so Wendy's working on some personal stuff for her new business, trying to fit that in around your day job. Well, if it's your priority, do it first. So like our meditation and stuff and getting our energy aligned is a priority. So we do it first in the day. And so if you've got a big project that's a personal project, carve yourself an hour at the beginning of the day and do that, and just say no meetings before 9 o'clock to your corporate job or whatever you're doing. And even if you do that 4 days out of 5, you're onto a winner already. You've just found yourself 4 hours in the day, and you will be super productive in that time.
And if you're thinking, I haven't got time, bullshit. Because we all have the same amount of time. We all have the same amount of hours. It's about how we choose to prioritize. And our model is, I like to call it GAMI. Gratitude. Affirmations, another 30 seconds. Meditation, if you haven't got time to meditate, do some breathing to center yourself. Movement, making a cup of having some dance music on or whatever song you connect with whilst you're making your breakfast. Set your intention. Like literally that can take 10 minutes whilst you're already up and moving. So it's about placing importance on your morning routine to set your energy and your tone for the day, and then seeing the difference. So if you don't do it now and you think you haven't got time, we urge you to try it for a week. You will then see the benefits of the routine. And like we were saying yesterday, you won't then want to go back to how it was before.
You just feel so much better.
It makes such a difference. It really, really, really does. Yes, bollocks, make the time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Donna.
We had one client who started with us in the Real You program, Laura, last year in the September, and she literally got to month 5 in the 6-month cycle and then said, I've started doing the morning routine. I've been doing it for 2 weeks. I feel absolutely amazing. I'm not quite sure why I had so much resistance. And I was like, I don't know either. I had it. I remember saying to our coach, I haven't got time. I've got to get all the excuses. But for some reason, I was resisting it. I think I was thinking it would take time away from me. And actually, what I've realized is I've created that time, the productivity I get, and just my attitude in general is so much nicer. Most of you can tell. Cheryl can walk in the house and know whether or not I've had time to myself in the morning to do what I needed to do. And there's always going to be life's crinkles, but we're talking about, if that's the exception, you can cope with it. What you're doing and compounding your energy over time will pay dividends to you if you do it consciously, consistently, and progressively. So that would be our challenge for you.
And you can always choose again. So if you get it one day, like loads of clients say to us, I didn't do it. I recognized that my energy was off. I fell out of flow. I got up the next day and I made an adjustment. Like, you've always got the power to choose again the next day when you realize that you might not have stuck to whatever and your energy's been impacted. We get to choose. We get to set the intention. We get to set the boundaries. It's our life. We're the master of our life. We have to take accountability and responsibility for doing this stuff for ourselves. It works.
Amen, sister.
Amen,
sister. So make sure, I just want everybody who's on here, everyone who's watching, just make sure that you're in the soul system. Make sure that you're part of our community. We'll be dropping in there now, 1 o'clock. And what we want from you is just a commitment. We'll put a post in there to say, what are you going to change based on the conversation that we've had today? And don't try and change everything. Do one thing, get consistently good at it, and then layer it up. It always has a better effect.
Love that, Donna.
Corona has changed how I work. No more manic hours. It's now more focused and balanced this manic world. I've found more peace. And I bet you're a damn sight happier. I bet you're a damn sight happier. It's a lovely note to end on.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're giving them a freebie today. Do we have something that we've given away?
No, I think, well, what we did do is we talked about routines a little bit and how you create energy when we did Kiosk to Calm. So if you weren't in the Kiosk to Calm, we've got the free Kiosk to Calm masterclass. So if you could, Heather's just saying, Heather's in Virginia, great, time zones make this part of my morning routine. Great way to start my day. Oh, I love you, Heather. So yes, if you want to get the Kiosk to Calm masterclass from us, if you just, we'll drop the link in here.
I've got it. I was already prepared.
Yeah. Kiosk to Calm masterclass. We'll drop that in here, and just make sure you're in the soul system, because the guys in the soul system is our private community. We'll always hear about our offers, our masterclasses, and our free gifts first. So make sure you're in that, and please, please, please pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on. The soul system is the place to be. Right, my loves? Have a fabulous day. See you 12:30 tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.